What's going on, guys? It's me, Giuliano Fan 2016 here, and today we have the NG Models April 2024 release this week, guys. Super excited to see what NG has for April 2024. After pretty much their first quarter of 2024, wasn't really much of a good start for them. I know we have like a lot of duplicates and a lot of Chinese models, but just eager to see what NG has for April. Hopefully it's good. I seen on the hints, so let me pull up the hints. There are like a total of 50 models from what I've heard from the other collectors. So as you can see, we might have some AC-19s, might have a JetBlue, hopefully an A320, might have some Qatars, some AC-21s from China, and probably a JetBlue A321 as well. Probably some Air China A330s, and some other Chinese A330s as well. We might get the Air India A350 on this release set. We might get another Malaysia Max 8, hopefully. Not really quite sure. We might have a 747, but I'm excited for the new Boeing 757-300 mold. That's a very new mold. Well, that's a new mold from NG that they just announced. We might have a United 777. We might have a 787 from Etihad, Air Tahiti Nui, and possibly Eva Air. And then we have a 211-154 from Tehran in China, like a Chinese registered. And as for the TO204, I mean, just gotta like type this up on my heads. We might have a Cubana. So yeah, once again, from what I heard, there's like a total of 50 models in this release set. So it's gonna be a big set. So I might have to expedite this really quick so this video does not take too long. But without being said, let's get into the releases. And as you can see, they're already here. So April 2024 releases. So let's get started with our first aircraft, as I could like zoom out at the picture of the NG website. So let me just do this. Okay, so here's our first aircraft. We have a 1-200 Bombardier CRJ-200 from Air Sahara. So here it is. It's like a, I think it's Air Sahara. I think that's how I pronounce it. This is the Indian airline. So as you can see, here's the CRJ-200 coming in 1/200 scale. It looks very nice. I like the cheat line that goes through here, and all the way to the tail. It has this kind of like style, kind of almost like resembling an Indian flag almost, but kinda like it's kind of like nearly the Air Wisconsin CRJ-200 retro from what I can look at it. So yeah, that's that. Registration of that aircraft is Victor Tango Sierra Alpha Sierra. Our next 1-200 is gonna be a C-37B. I think this is a U.S. Air Force. I think this is like a 737. Oh wow, nice. This is like is this like a modified Gulfstream G550 for the U.S. Air Force? I think this carries some Secretary or Senate or like other House Representative personnel people, something like that. But this is a very cool model from that lineup. So this is coming in at 1-200 also. Registration to that plate is 09er1778. Next up on 1-200s we have, so we have Aerogal. I think this was released at 1-400 already. Yeah, this is already will be released at 1-400, so now we're having this at 1-200. So here's the Aerogal 757-200 with winglets. It's a very nice airline from Colombia. Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting airline for all the 1-200 collectors from South America. That aircraft is registered Hotel Charlie Sierra India Yankee, and I think this was released somewhere mid-2023 in 1/400 scale, or maybe late 2023. Can't really recall, but I think it's either between those dates or those time frames. Alright, and then we should have so we have another 757 from China Southwest Airlines with the Royal Nepal Airlines tiles. Okay, so what's that? I saw the image. Okay, so technically this is like a China Southwest Royal Nepal Airlines hybrid livery almost. So as you can see, kind of has the Royal Nepal Airlines. Okay, Royal Nepal Airlines titles, and I think this could be like the China Southwest Airlines tail logo. But yeah, I think that's how this livery is supposed to look like. It's a very cool livery overall. I think it looks nice. That registration is Bravo 2855. Yeah, let me give you a sip of water first. Alright, so now we move on. Excuse you guys. I'm trying to do this in one recording, but all these other things just kind of like messes it up. But we'll be moving on downwards. Next up, so we have another China Southwest Airlines 757-200. Okay, so this is just like this China Southwest Airlines 757-200, just like the regular livery. That's it. So very nice livery once again. Nothing really to go over. It just says China Southwest Airlines. That's the only difference between the one with the all times. That aircraft is registered Bravo 2820. Alright, so now we move on. Let's see if we have some more 1-200s. Wow! Holy moly! Starline 757-200. Starlines. Yeah, Starlines live. Oh, actually not Starline. Wow. Wait, did it say Starline? It says Starlines, but this is not a Starlines livery. This is actually a Continental United merger livery. Wow. Okay, so I think they did the Evo Blue 757 already. So now they're doing the Continental Globe livery. Okay, so it has it does not have the Schematar winglets. I hope they fix that. But technically, all of United 757 former Continental planes have the Schematar winglets on the winglets of the 757. So hopefully they fix that. Maybe they might fix the CGI, or maybe they might fix it in the model form. But yeah, there's that 757-200 from United. That aircraft is registered November 12125. And they already did one 1/400 scale back in January of 2022. Alright, so now we move on. Next up, we have, wow! Okay, so nice stuff right here for 1-200. Now we have an American Airlines Boeing 757-200. Now is this in the current? It is in the current livery. Wow, very nice stuff right here. So here it is. Now they're doing an American 757. Very cool stuff. So here it is. The American 757 were a workhorse back then. Unfortunately, they got retired back in 2020. But this should be a very nice model for all the American Airlines collectors. And overall, I think it should be a very nice 1-200 on their Boeing 757, the 1-200 757 from NG. That aircraft was registered November 6901 Alpha Alpha. Now we move on. And we have, okay, so now we're moving on to another 757. This one now has the One World titles. Very cool stuff right here. So, kind of same song, second verse almost. The main difference with the American Airlines livery, and now has the One World titles, and you can see the American Airlines titles right there. That aircraft was registered November 174 Alpha Alpha. Alright, so now, I think that's all of our 1-200s. Do we move on to our 1-400s? I did not ended up putting the 1-200s on the pins that I did, so we'll just have to wait and see what our next 1-200 lineup is, or we might move on to 1-400. So let's see. Okay, so now we move on to our next 1-200. This is the China United Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Dodging livery. So as you can see, I think they already did this in 1-400 already back in probably late 2023 or early 2024. But now they're releasing this in 1-200. So really nice offering for all the Chinese collectors, and overall this livery looks very nice. That aircraft registration is Bravo 208 Zulu. And moving on, we might move on to our second. Wow! Okay, so now we're getting New Mexico 1 in 1-200 scale. How about that right here? So, they released this back in September 2023 in 1-400 scale. Now they're releasing New Mexico 1 in 1-200 scale for this month. So, really cool stuff right here. I did get to see this airplane a couple of times, even during my work time. During the early, when I was going into work, I did get to see this aircraft up close. So, that's pretty cool right there. But yeah, I already seen New Mexico 1, so I already had the 1-400 from NG, so nice effort right here. So that aircraft is registered November 8655 Delta. And now we move on. So let's move on downwards. Next up, we have our second 737-800 in 1-200 scale. This is the Hainan Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Pepsi livery with split Schematar winglets. So they already released this in 1-400 back in late 2023. And here it is, coming in 1-200 scale. Nice brandings of all these Pepsi stuff. So you got all the Pepsi cans right here, all the various colors of the Pepsi logo. And yeah, very nice to see right there. That aircraft was registered Bravo 1501. Alright, so that's it for the 1-200s hopefully. Now we move on downwards. Next up. Okay, so that's it for our 1-200 lineup. Edgy May 2024. Okay. That's because it literally says it's supposed to be April 2024, but I'm not sure what's going on, why we're skipping to May, but we'll just have to wait and see. But let's just say these are the 1-400 April 2024 releases. Let me just get a sip of water. And we'll get started from here. Alright, so let's start off with our first model in 1-400. First up we should have is okay, so we have Okay, this is a Canadian Air Force CC-330 Husky. It's like a modified A330 for the Royal Canadian Air Force. So here it is right there. Looking very nice. I think they released this already. I can't really call. I think maybe they released this. Yeah, they released this already. So I'm not. Oh, I see. So they released this back in December 2023. So now we're having a duplicate. Honestly, I'm not sure if I can handle this, but technically this aircraft has a different registration. So yeah, they released one. At least it's not within the same months. They released one in the previous month. Now they're releasing a second one this month. So I'm okay with that. It's kind of like best in case they miss out on the first one. I'm not sure if the first iteration of that model is available though. So that aircraft registration is 330002, and this is an ultimate collection, so you can expect that plane to have like the flap and all that, and all the information and the stand as well. Very cool stuff right here. Next up we should have is, wow! Okay! Delta Airlines Airbus A319, a second re-release of that? Okay. So here it is, Delta A319, a re-release. Well, okay, because like, I don't know if I even have words about this, because like, they already did like I think the first one they did was back in October 2023, when they released their first Delta A319 in 140 scale. I guess the demand for that model is so high, I guess they decided to make another one. So here it is, another Delta A319 coming into the lineup. So really cool to see right there. That aircraft is registered November 371 November Bravo. That registration kind of seems familiar. I may have seen that plane before. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, I did. So I did see this exact airplane back in January 11th of this year from San Jose. Oh yeah, I did see this. Yeah, I did see this exact airplane from San Jose. So I do have a raw picture of that airplane right now. So here it is right there. Very nice photo, and yeah, really fortunate to see this exact registration. Not sure, because like the previous iteration they did, the Delta tiles were much smaller, so I hope NG can at least fix the Delta Airlines titles on this second production right here. So once again, that aircraft registration, November 371, November Bravo, and once again, that is the exact aircraft I saw at San Jose back in January 2024, so really love to see it right there. Next up, so we move on. Alright, so just want to make sure I get that. Okay. Alright, so here we go, moving on. So now we have an Airbus A330-300 from China Southern Airlines with Rolls-Royce engine. So it's another ultimate collection. So as you can see, I ended up getting this prediction correct. So here we have a China Southern A330. I was always thinking like, cause like, in regards to like Chinese models, I always ended up predicting because like I don't think NG has never done a China Southern A330 before, so this is their first time they haven't done it. So really nice to see right there. The livery does look nice on this aircraft though. Once again, it's the Ultimate Collection Luxury Package. That aircraft is registered Bravo 300 uniform, and oh my god, did I end up? Oh, I was so close. I ended up adding a Victor at the end, but that's also equipped with Rolls-Royce engine. So love to see that right there. For the Chinese collectors. And we should have another China Southern A330. This one is equipped with Pratt & Whitney engine, so I got all the A330-300s correct. So, same song, second verse with the actual aircraft. The only difference is it has Pratt & Whitney engine. So that's the main difference. So, yeah, that's really nice. And I ended up getting the registration correct. Bravo 8426. So, really love to see that right there. Alright, moving on. Next up, we should have a Sichuan Airlines Airbus A350-900. This is in the Panda Route livery. A very cute livery with all these various pandas right there. As you can see, you got 3 pandas right there, and then you got 2 pandas at the empennage, excuse me. And then you got 1 panda flying there, and then another pandas, and yeah, more pandas. That's basically what the Sichuan A350 Panda Route livery is like. Very cute, once again, and yeah. I think they fly to LAX, I think, maybe, but yeah, I'm not really quite sure. I have never seen this airline at all as of late. That aircraft is registered Bravo 32 Foxtrot 8, and we might move on to our second A350, and what's that's gonna be? That's gonna be the Air India Airbus A350-900. So this is Air India's first ever Airbus A350 in their fleet. They delivered this aircraft back in like near the end of 2023, so it's still new to their fleet. They're still doing like crew familiarization flights around India. So hopefully we can see this aircraft go to their first international destination. And yeah, really nice livery overall. This is Air India's new livery. So yeah, I think the livery does look nice on the Airbus A350. So yeah, here's like their logo right there and the big Air India titles. Once again, this is the Ultimate Collection luxury package, which is very cool. That aircraft is registered Victor Tango Juliet Romeo Alpha. Alright, so now that's done. Next up, we should have our 737s. And we have a 737 MAX 8 from Baltic Air. So, as I pull her up, here's the aircraft right there. I think the CGI image, like the background changed. So it kind of was a rectangular, like a rectangle before, and now it's kind of like a square. So here's a Baltic Air 737 MAX 8, Baltic Air Malaysia. I'm assuming from what I can, like, is it Batik Air? Is it? Oh, I think I said the airline's name wrong. But is it Batik Air that operated their first 737 MAX? Were they like was Batik Air Malaysia the launch customer of the 737 MAX? I will have to search this up real quick. I'll do this. Hang on. Gotta like search this up. Don't want to waste further time. Like, don't waste you guys' time just for me to search this up. Yeah, kind of like searching this up, but yeah, I think it was Batik Air that operated. Oh no, it was not Batik Air. It was Malindo Air. So Malindo Air is a very different airline compared to like Batik Air, but technically Batik Air is not the launch customer of the 737 MAX, but the livery is similar to like that out of Malindo Air. But here's the Batik 737 MAX 8 from Malaysia. That aircraft is registered in Niner Mike Lima Romeo Golf. Alright, so that's the Batik airplane. Next up, we should move on to our Boeing 747 now. So let's see what our first 747 is. Well, actually we have a blank 737 MAX 10 model. So I think this is like the mold sample, if I were to guess. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of like a mold sample model. I think they did release that. They did have like a sale on their exchange mall about this mold sample of the 737 MAX. Not gonna go into further much detail. It's just a blank plane with no registration. But if you want a custom out of this model, then be my guest and go for it. Okay, I think we should move on to our Boeing 747 now. So let's see what our 747 is. And let's see. Okay, so we have an Atlas Air Boeing 747-. Whoa. Okay, so Atlas Air Boeing 747-8, the last Boeing 747 pre-paint livery revised. Ultimate Collection. Oh, I think. Okay, so they're doing a second production out of the last 747. It's very interesting, I'll say, because like they did one already, and I think like the first one was already sold out. Their first iteration of that model is already sold out. So I guess that model was so popular because it was their first 747-8 freighter mold, like their first 747-8 freighter mold. It was so popular that they decided to like do a second production out of the last 747-8 in the bare metal with prepaid colors. What is that again? Shoot, I kind of like had that thing on top of my head. It's like just like bare metal something manufacturing phase, some sort of like production phase out of this aircraft right there. So it's now going to be in the Ultimate Collection now. The previous one was not, so that's very cool right there. So if you missed out on the first iteration of the bare metal factory phase last 747-8 November 863 Golf Tango, then you're in luck, because like there's a second run out of this model right here. So once again, I already said the registration already, so no need to like say it again, because like that's a very iconic registration for the last Boeing 747 ever built. Alright, now moving on. We have, wow, okay. Wow. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The first ever Boeing 757-300 mold. The first Boeing 757-300 1/4 scale NG has ever done. And what a way to do so with the United Airlines Boeing 757-300 in the Evo Blue livery. Wow. Now I really have to come up with a decision about this, because I do have the Gemini Jets version already. That was from the September 2022 batch. Oh no, it was not September. It was for the October 2022 batch when Gemini just released the Evo Blue 753. Now I have to like see if I want to get this model too, because like I do want to compare it with my Gemini version, but if it's a United model, then I see why not. So I will add this model to my collection, even though I already have a Evo Blue 757-300 from Gemini Jets already. But it's nice to switch things up a bit. So there she is, the United Evo Blue Boeing 757-300, the first ever edgy models Boeing 757-300 they have ever done. I'm excited to see what Edgy has in store for their 1200, not 100, the 1400 753. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what they have to do, like what they have in store. So yeah, so that aircraft is registered November 7, 8866. Did I seen it? Okay, I don't think I've seen this registration yet, but I've seen like plenty of 757-300 Evo Blues in SFO, so I will still get that model regardless. But other than that, it should be a nice addition for my United Airlines collection, even though, so technically I do have two 757-300s in the Evo Blue if ever I get this model, but other than that, it should be a very nice model. Alright, so now we move on. Next up, we should have is, okay, so alright, so we have a Star Alliance Boeing 777-200ER from United Airlines. It's equipped with Pratt & Whitney P. Oh, I see. So now it's equipped with Pratt & Whitney's now. So let's see that. Wow. So it's kind of like similar almost, because like I think it was back in 2022 is when they did one with GE engines, with GE90 engines. So now they're doing one with Pratt & Whitney engines. So really nice. I already have the Star Alliance livery with GE engines already, so I may opt for this one too, depending if this plane has Evo Blue engines. I'm not sure if this exact plane does. Okay, 794. I think that plane does have the Evo Blue. Yeah, it does have the Evo Blue engine. So that aircraft was registered November 794, Uniform Alpha, and I did get to see this exact aircraft at SFO back in April 2023. So here's a photo of that right now, and yeah. It was quite far away, so heat haze was pretty much present, but regardless, I get to see this exact aircraft. Unfortunately, I will not get this one because it's kind of like the livery is pretty much like outdated. It has Evo Blue engines, and the United tiles is already blue, so not my priority as of now, but it's not really in my priority at all. But other than that, it should be very nice if you ever see this exact airplane with the Continental engine. So yeah, there it is right there. So yeah, very nice to see that coming in to Gemini Jets, like not Gemini, Angie's behalf. Alright, so now we move on. Let's see what we have next. We have an Etihad 787-9 Dreamliner, and I think this is in their current livery. It is in their current livery, so I think they have never done a Etihad current livery 787 before. So really nice to see NG finally kicking it with the not EVA Air. There was an EVA Air there was a Bravo registration on the Dash 10, and I'm assuming it was EVA Air. But what I meant to say is, nice to see NG finally doing a regular livery Etihad 787-9 Dreamliner. Not sure if I want to get this though. I have never seen. Well, technically, I've seen Etihad before, but I've never seen their Boeing 787s. But it'll still be a nice model to add to my collection regardless. But not pretty much in my priority as of late. So that aircraft is registered Alpha 6 Bravo Lima Zulu. So that's the Etihad Dreamliner right there. Next up we should have is, now we have another Etihad 787-9 Dreamliner. This is with the T-Mall 11 sticker. So, okay, so what is that? So, T-Mall 11. Not really familiarized with like this T-Mall saying, but here's that livery. It's kind of like pretty much still in Etihad's current livery, but the difference is it has like this sticker right here. And then it also has a sticker in the engines right there. So that aircraft is registered Alpha 6 Bravo Lima Mike, and I'm assuming NG has done that before. It was in like a different livery, but not really quite sure. But there's that for you. Alright, so now we move on. So that's our Etihad 787s right there. Next up we should have is, now we have an Air Tahiti Nui 787-9 Dreamliner, and I think this is their final push of Air Tahiti Dreamliners. Since they operated 4 airplanes, so Edgy decided to make all 4. So here it is. this is their last 787 current livery Air Tahiti Nui NG has ever done. So there it is right there. That aircraft is named Tupaya, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But there she is right there. So if you miss out on the previous 3 releases, then this is a chance to get the current one. I'm not sure. Yeah, the previous one was already sold out already, so that's unfortunate. But here it is right there. That aircraft is registered Foxtrot Oscar November Uniform India. And I think we should have our second Air Tahiti Nui airplane, but this has a sticker, and that is going to be with the 25th anniversary sticker. And they did this registration before, Foxtrot Oscar Victor Alpha Alpha, but now it has the 25th sticker name, Bora Bora. So here it is. So that's pretty much the difference. So here is like the sticker right there. This has the 25th anniversary, the sticker. So very nice livery. And yeah, really fortunate to see this in Seattle though. It's a very nice livery, and yeah. That's all the Air Tahiti Nui right there. Now we move on to our Dash 10s, and we should have, well, first of all, we have our Teroms. So Terom, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so we have a Terom Tupolev. Look, need a drink real fast. Okay, so we have our Terom Tupolev Tu-154B, and here it is right there. It's kind of like just like nothing really too special. This is kind of like it's just one color, that's it. There's nothing really too much about this livery, but it should be a nice model for all the Romanian collectors. But yeah, here is the Tupolev Tu-154B from Terom. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that aircraft is registered Yankee Romeo Tango Papa Echo. I was kind of like looking at the last 3 letters, and I immediately thought of Taipei because of the TPE. But yeah, there's that. And now we should have some of our future releases coming out. So let's see what we have. We should first have, okay, so we have another one. So we have a China Southwest Airlines Tupolev Tu-154M. So here it is right there. Very nice addition to all the Chinese collectors. And yeah, the livery does look very nice on this aircraft, I will say. So yeah, nothing really to go over. I don't really collect these Russian models nor these Chinese airlines or something. But it's still a cool livery regardless. It's still a cool aircraft. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 2622. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for all these these previous releases, the releases they ever did, all the releases that weren't announced as future releases. So that's it for that. Now we move on to our future releases, and we got a couple. So yeah, it's gonna be a big month for NG. So we first start off with an EVA Air 787-10 Dreamliner. So yeah, there she is right there, EVA Air 787-10. I get to see plenty of them at Taiwan International Airport, so it's worth getting one. I also get to see one in Seattle Tacoma as well, since they fly these planes into Seattle Tacoma. So I'm gonna see if I can try to get one. I have never flown, well, actually I did flow an EVA Air, but what I meant to say is I have never have a model of EVA Air before. So it's kind of like worth getting an EVA Air model because I've flown an EVA Air. It's a nice livery. That's basically it. That I never flown their 787s, but I'll still get this model regardless. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 17813. I don't think I have seen this registration in Seattle nor in Taipei, but there's that for you. Next up, we should have is a Qatar Airways Airbus A319CJ. Now, basically what that is, it's Qatar's business, it's kind of like Qatar's BBJ, so their business jets. So here's their Qatar A319. This is in their current livery style, so here it is. Nothing to pretty much go over, but they did operate these planes. I'm not sure if they still operate them as of today, or maybe they have retired them already, but who knows. That aircraft is registered Alpha 7 Hotel Juliet. Next up, we should have our second Qatar A319, which is right there. This is in the old color scheme, so kind of the difference between that is the antelope is kind of there. So here's the antelope right there. It's kind of bigger compared to the previous one. Also, the tail is already the antelope pretty much fills the tail. This one, it extends all the way to the aft area of the empennage. So that's kind of the difference between that. So that aircraft is now registered Alpha 7 Mike Echo Delta. Alright, after that quick pause, let's continue on, shall we? So, scrolling on downwards, next up we should have, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, There it is, the JetBlue Airbus A320 with a new spotlight tail with, as I pull it up, sharklets. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. NG's first JetBlue A320 they have ever done. I guess I'm excited for this, but wow. Really fortunate for NG to finally make an Airbus A320 from JetBlue. I think I've been requesting, well, I haven't requested on their Instagram, but I've been wanting NG to do like a JetBlue A320 for a very long time. And there it is, now released in April 2024. Most likely I'll get this, but not really quite right now, but honestly, who knows? I might get it right now, I might wait for a couple of months, but I will most likely add that to my list. So here she is, the JetBlue Airbus A320 with sharklets in the new spotlight pattern livery, looking very, very nice. So that aircraft was registered November 821 Juliet Bravo, and I'm assuming that's the first JetBlue A320 to be painted in the new spotlight livery. So really love to see that right there. Alright, so now moving on downwards. Next up we should have a British Airways Airbus A320neo in the BA Better World livery. And as I pull up the CGI image, this is what it looks like right there. So it's kind of like British Airways livery, but it's just blue. I think this had to do with eco-friendly skies. Like it's like a, I think it's like something to promote better, like a better environment. So our most important journey yet. So I think this is like it's like a livery that promotes like an environmental, like keep the earth clean. I think that's what they're referring to with this livery right here, but it looks very nice. So that aircraft was registered Gulf Tango Tango November Alpha. Alright, so that's the British Airways. Next up we should have is a Junyao Air Airbus A321neo in the Blessed Land Program livery. So as you can see, there she is right there. So kind of like pretty much it's nearly like the Junyao Air regular livery, but then it has like some form like cherry blossoms in the livery at the very back area of the empennage. But it does look very nice, I'll say. I think Junyao Air did a nice job on designing this livery, and overall, I really like. It's like one of Junyao Air's best liveries they ever done. Yeah, there it is. So that aircraft was registered Bravo 32 Charlie Juliet. Alright, so now we move on. Next up we have is a Junyao Air Airbus A321neo, and this is their regular livery, and it's the first A321neo assembled in China. So here she is right there, the Junyao Air A321neo regular livery this time. So love to see that from NG doing a regular livery Junyao A321neo. Should be perfect for the Chinese collectors, and overall, it's kind of like a plain and simple livery, nothing really too special. Pretty much the airplane is all white, the fuselage part. But other than that, I'm not gonna complain too much right there. It is how it is. So that aircraft was registered Bravo 32 Delta Foxtrot. Alright, so now we move on. Next up, we should have is Chengdu Airlines Airbus A321neo. This is the first A321. This is like their first A321neo for that airline. And honestly, the livery does look very nice, I will say. I like the various swoops they have, the various reds and like gold colors. Yeah, the swoop does really have a nice attention to this livery right here, and it's a very simple and plain livery for Chengdu Airlines, and overall, it looks very nice. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 32 Foxtrot 9er, and now we move on to our next A321. So now we scroll on downwards. Next up we have a Capital Airlines, or Beijing Capital Airlines Airbus A321-200, and if I can try to pronounce the livery name of this livery, this is in the Sangjidui Archaeological. Okay, hang on, let me rephrase that. So this is in the Sanjingdui Archaeological Sites livery, and I will say this is an eye-catching livery. It kind of almost resembles, like this part right here, it almost kind of resembles a rabbit, but then it kind of almost like has a mix of a dragon, which I think this is a very cool livery that that Capital Airlines did. I like the various like colors, like the various like just how the livery is designed. I do like this livery. I think it looks very nice. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 8107. Alright, so now we move on. Next A321 we have is Sichuan Airlines Airbus A321neo. This is in the Wuliangyi. I'm not gonna really pronounce that, but it's kind of like some alcohol brand in China. So kind of like alcohol or vodka brand in China or something. But here it is. This is the livery I was referring to, and it's a nice livery, I will say. I think like the wave design and all like the various promotions of the vodka looks very cool, and yeah, no need to explain more. It's a very nice livery, and that's how Sichuan Airlines rolls with this special scheme. So that aircraft was registered Bravo 302 Tango. And now we move on. Next, A321. Nice. There she is again. The JetBlue Airbus A321-200 in the balloons pattern livery. Yes, love to see that. So I already have the, it's the mid pattern livery. I already have it in my collection. I'll also add this in my collection once again. Might get it right now, might get it in a couple of months, but other than that, I'm really glad that NG has also done a JetBlue Airbus A321 balloon pattern livery as well. It's all part of their newer livery they have. So they debuted this back in 2023, and pretty much they're gonna paint it on their entire airplane. So I think that's how they're gonna roll with this livery right here. So love to see it. That aircraft was registered November 9057 Juliet. November 9057 Juliet Bravo. Alright, so that's our A321s. I think we should move on to a couple of Airbus A330s. Let's see what we have. We first have is a Starlines Airbus A330-200 from Air China. It's an ultimate collection, so here she is right there. Very nice livery, and I don't need to explain too much more about the Starlines livery. It's painted, basically Starlines. You have Starlines tiles right there, you got the airline's name, and then on the tail you got the Starlines logo painted with a like printed in there with a black background. So really like to see this livery, or see this ball getting done by NG. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 6091, and as I scroll down, we do have a duplicate. So I kind of like want to try to draw a line. This is somewhere, I'm not sure if I want to try drawing the line, but this is kind of where I kind of draw the line, because I know NG has been making like duplicates for the past 2 months already. So we're having another duplicate of the same livery, different registration, but yeah, I think honestly NG could at least release one and call it a day, and then wait for that thing to get sold out, and then do another one again just in case how popular that model gets sold. But yeah, not really gonna complain too much. Same livery, same song, second verse. Aircraft registration is Bravo 6093 this time. Alright, so now move on. Next up, we should have is a Sichuan Airlines Airbus A350-900 in the... Okay, so like, hang on a minute. 3-2... Okay, so they literally did the same livery, but this first iteration they did, this is not in like the Ultimate Collection. So as I scroll down to the other one they did, if I can try to find it, so they did the same. They released this exact airplane in the exact same month. They just added it as an Ultimate Collection. So I don't think I need to go into too much detail about that. I already talked about this livery already. It's just the main difference is now Ultimate Collection, so no need to explain more about that. Next up, we have some more 757-300 coming in. We first have a Condor Boeing 757-300 in the C livery, or the blue stripes. NG really going in with the 757-300 this month since it's a new mold. And yeah, the blue stripes livery looks very nice on this aircraft. And basically, like the blue stripes livery is basically my favorite color from like Condor's new livery. So here's the C livery. That aircraft was registered Delta Alpha Bravo Oscar India. Gemini Jets did this model, this model in 1/4 scale back in their February/March 2023 releases. But not only we have the blue, we have the yellow, which is sunshine, we have the island, which is green, and we have the passion, which is red. So let's take a look at them one by one. So here's the yellow or sunrise livery, looking very nice right there. That aircraft was registered Delta Alpha Bravo Oscar Juliet. Next up we have Bravo Oscar Lima, which is painted in the green livery. Honestly, I think the green livery does also look very nice on this 757 right here. So that's the green or island livery. And then, as I like to call it, the passion livery or red, otherwise known as the candy cane or Where's Waldo. But under that, both liveries does look nice. And yeah, NG models going at it with their 757-300 mold. They debuted it this month. So we have Condor and the United Eagle Blue. So love to see it right there. And that aircraft is registered, the Passion one, Delta Alpha Bravo Oscar Mike. So those are the 757-300s with Condor. And yeah, really nice for the German collectors. Next up we should have is a Saudia 787-10 in the quote-unquote standard livery with a red sticker. So if you know what I'm referring to, this is now their current livery. So they first added this as a retro livery, but then they thought, oh, this is a very nice livery, so let's just say this is now their standard livery now. So nice livery overall. I'm glad that they had the cheat lines right there. So yeah, like the cheat line kind of returns to like the modern day aviation. It's just only on Saudia, but other than that you have this, and then you have the red scene tiles right there. So no need to explain more, but that's how they roll. The aircraft registration is Hotel Zulu Alpha Romeo 33. And moving on downwards, we should move on to our final models. We should have, next up, is a Cubana Tupolev TU 204-100 in their new standard livery. So here it is right there. So kind of like, I haven't seen much of Cubana's livery, but I'm assuming the livery kind of cuts off, like starts off way close to the tail, but I guess they decide to like make some swoops around like the underbelly of the plane, and then yeah, it's the Cubana livery. But other than that, it still looks nice. It still looks nice on this aircraft. The Cubana livery, I have never seen this airline before. They mainly fly, maybe they fly to Florida, but mainly they would fly within the Caribbean. I think that's what I'm thinking this aircraft flies to. But we do have this Cubana 75, the knockoff 757, Cubana knockoff Boeing 757, otherwise known as the Tupolev Tu-204. That aircraft is registered, it's a very long registration right here, so that aircraft registration is Charlie Uniform Tango 1702. And I think that should do it. Actually, we got a couple more we have. Okay, so I don't think I've never seen this before. Never seen a model out of this, or this was never announced in the hints. This is a Airbus A321neo. It's an Ultimate Collection. That's gotta be a Chinese airline. This is, yeah, A320neo. I mean, okay, so I'm trying to figure out which airline this is. That's an interesting airline I have never heard of before. That aircraft was registered Bravo Sui Zero Alpha Sierra. So let me just search this up. This is a colorful. The airline name is Colorful. Shoot, I'm trying to like pronounce this. Colorful Yuizoi Airlines. If I'm trying to pronounce this correctly. But yeah, here's that. It's kind of like it almost reminds me of the Baltic, like the Bulgarian Tupolev Tu-54 livery they did, but it's now on the Airbus A320 and it's all white. But other than that, this is a very cool livery and it's labeled as an Ultimate Collection, so we're getting our first Ultimate Collection Airbus A320 from that lineup. Moving on downwards, next up we should have another colorful. Okay, so this is another duplicate. This is kind of where I kind of like draw the line, because once again, NG is still doing these like duplicates, mainly on Chinese airplanes, which honestly I don't really want to see, because like they've been doing the exact same registration and over again. Can they at least like, honestly, can they at least like release one, and then depending if that model is sold out, they can release it again, not just put the same registrations and the same exact thing over and over again. That's kind of like my small complaint right there. So I hope NG can at least do something about that, but I don't have any controls with NG. That's what they do, but here they are. These two colorful airlines, colorful Gizuhoi Airlines Airbus A320neos, both in Ultimate Collections. So there they are right there. And next up we should have, okay, we have another airline. Wait. Well, I guess they have another Air India Airbus A350-900. This is not labeled as an Ultimate Collection. So from what I'm assuming, are they gonna release one Air India A350 in just a regular box, and then another A350 in an Ultimate Collection box? Honestly, I'm not sure, but I think that's what they're going for, since I seen that on like the Panda route and this Air India A350, so I'm assuming yes. But yeah, let's just wait and see. But on that, or maybe we can just like combine everything and just put it in just the Ultimate Collection box instead. But yeah, we should expect something about that. So I think that's it. So that's basically it for the April 2023 releases. What a massive release that I will say. That's a lot of models right there. Once again, there's like about 50 models in there. So this could be like NG's biggest release set they have ever did, so that's just a lot. And as we look at the future releases, nothing really much. Actually, we do have, yeah, we have different ones. So we'll start off here with this Air China Airbus A330-200. This is in the Beijing 2008 Torch Relay livery, and this is referring to their Beijing 2008 Olympics right there. So here it is right there. Very nice. That aircraft registration is Bravo 06. Not, let me rephrase that. Bravo 6075. Next up, we have an Airbus A330-200 from China Southern. This is in the, yeah, oh man, I'm trying to pronounce that. These Chinese cities are very hard to pronounce, but that's Guangzhou 2010 Asia Games. I mean, this is in their A330 right there, A330-200. Very nice livery overall. Instead of like the old navy, old dark blues, they added some light blues. And I do like the fade of the tail. That looks very nice. That aircraft is registered Bravo 6057, and our last feature release model is a China United Airlines 737-800 and 1/400 scale. This is in the Dajing livery. There she is right there. Okay, so I don't think they have not released this in 1/400 scale. So the 1/200 made its debut, but not the 1/400 counterpart. So you're gonna see on when this model is gonna get released. That aircraft is registered Bravo 208 Zulu. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the NG April 2024 releases. What a massive release set that is for NG models, the biggest they have ever done, I think, because there's like about 50 models a day. Like, there's a lot of models. There's about 50 models, so I can already expect like this is gonna be a big release set they have ever did. Expect some delays on a few models, but most likely I'll be getting the Delta 1819 re-release and the 757-300 Evo Blue from United Airlines on their new 757-300 mold. So really cool stuff right there. I think the Jet Blues, I'll just hold that off for now and try not to purchase them right now. Yeah, so without being said, that's kind of like pretty much it for like their release sets. It's a big release set. Overall, there's a couple of duplicate models, but I think this release set is much more better than what NG did for January and March. So great work, NG models, on improving your release set for 2024. And yeah, this is off to a great start for the second quarter for NG models for 2024. So I love to see it from there. So let me know what models are you gonna get for this release set. Once again, I'll be getting the Delta 1819 and the 757-300, which is basically right away. And I'll hold off those two Jet Blues. And yeah, those models should be perfect for my collection. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. So, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.